welcome to LOA Today. I'm Walt Thiessen. I'm here with Dean McMurray, the military medium. This is your daily dose of happy. We are so happy you decided to join us today. And here we are. We are doing our regular Tuesday show, me and Dean McMurray coming onto the scene here. And Dean, how you doing? Hope things are going well at your end.
Yeah, everything's going well, Walt. Everything's good.
That's a good thing. I'm still getting used to StreamYard doesn't behave the way Zoom does. And I'm used to Zoom being all, really very professional and so forth. StreamYard is a little bit rough around the edges. Like right now, I don't see you. I still see the promo.
Got it.
Figure, it's just, it's weird.
And I was going to say, Walt, if anybody's watching the stream, I'm not a dietitian, but you need to ease up on whatever you're eating because I see ears coming up from your stomach region. And it's like, I don't know what you're eating there.
This is my little buddy here. Let me see if I can show you. That's Joy.
And all you could see were the ears.
Right? Yeah. But listeners will know who he is because listeners who've been around for at least 8 months or so will know that he was the one who was attacked by a predator last October.
No. Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, he was near death, actually.
Oh, wow.
But he survived with a lot of tender loving care and nursing and so forth. And he used to be an outdoor cat. He's now an indoor cat, and he is loving the lap time.
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is.
So, yeah. So he just spent the hour in my lap here. But anyway, this is another Psychic Tuesday. We've done a couple of days of psychic stuff. And I figured, that's working out pretty nicely. And I especially like the aspect of, inviting anyone who's listening to the live stream to participate. I see Nasha's already logged in. So hello, Nasha. She says hello to you too, Dean. And so I figure why don't we do a little bit of stuff there? We haven't done anything with angel cards, spirit cards since Linda left the podcast a month or two back. And I have a deck that was actually one that she recommended to me last year. I was going to get one for my wife, and she recommended one, so I got that one. And to be honest, Louise and I have used it exactly once, but hey, we used it, and I figured, hey, let's get it out. Let's put it to some use here because I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
Now she's asking, is there anything for me in her future? And she also says she misses Linda. Yeah, we miss Linda too. But actually that's going to be part of the exercise, Nasha, because we're going to ask you to practice being a psychic along with us. This is basically an exercise for all of us to extend what limited, or in Dean's case, massive psychic powers that we already have or that we already know about. He's shaking his head. He's going to laugh at me in a moment.
No. I don't have massive skills.
Well, let's just say they're bigger than the rest of ours. How about that?
I'd still disagree with you, but that's all right. Well, that's how we can agree to disagree. You know me, I believe that we're all psychic, that we all have these abilities, but it's just, to me, it's your level is wherever you are is only relative to what you want to develop it to. And
that's an interesting point right there, by the way, because for years I could have cared less about having any psychic ability.
Yeah.
It's only since I've been doing the show, and only in the last couple of years, basically since Linda came on and Rita when she was on too, that I had any interest in it. And now it's more like the way you introduced it to us. It's a game. It's something to just play and see what happens.
Yeah. Why not keep it playful, Yeah. And I don't want people to get the wrong idea too, is, the word game, meaning not, have a seriousness to it. But I think all too often we get too serious in our adult lives, and we don't get enough. We're not playful enough because then we're setting like, I was wrong, or, we get too mechanical instead of just have fun with it. Just, incorporate it in your day, and, that word game, make it a game. And so, sky's the limit of what you can do. So
Nasha's actually posted a question. She says, this is so much fun. I'm pushing for another, but how come I can't do much for myself? Or maybe this is the problem with she wrote physics, but I think she meant psychics.
Psychics, right. Yeah. Well, that's actually a great question, Nasha, because, that comes up quite often, and even some stuff for for me as well, right? In fact, it came up yesterday, and it was something for me around me. And I was trying to get clarification on it, and I just couldn't because I knew it was for me, right?
Mm.
And so because there was an aspect of my ego, my, the monkey mind, I call it, that knew that it was emotionally attached somehow, and I just couldn't quite completely detach from it. And I knew in that moment that I needed to reach out to, or we needed to reach out to, a trusted community of like-minded individuals to kind of bounce that back off of and say, what do you get?
Mm-hmm.
And, so that's great if you have other intuitives or other psychics around you that you can do that.
Yeah.
But the other thing, even if you try, like, for example, cause I know the next question, well, what happens if I don't have a bunch of psychics around, the psychic,
right.
The doctor's doctor, who do they go to? And so sometimes trying to find a space to emotionally disconnect from the outcome of the answer. And so remember, I was saying the mantra of, F it, right?
Yeah, right.
And so it kind of makes you laugh, but at the same time, when you do that, and by the way, I didn't practice that yesterday, so I probably needed to, but, if we don't care what the outcome is, then just for a second, then it kind of skirts us around that obstacle, so to speak. And then we can get a good crack on, what, guidance or whatever, psychic reading or whatever the case is, right?
Right.
And get around the emotion, the outcome, how we want it to be. And, sometimes that's a hard obstacle, and sometimes it's just to know that you can walk away from it and, be okay with that and saying, I'm just frustrated. I'm going to leave it be, and then I'm going to come back to it later.
Now, let's also take a moment to talk a little bit about, I guess I'll call it mindset when we're trying to do stuff like this, because like you pointed out, one of the things that it's probably the thing that everybody runs into more than anything else, their ego gets in the way and they can't get anything. And they, anything they come up with is a guess and they get it wrong and that sort of thing. So how about if you let's go over some tips or ground rules or whatever you want to call it for how to get yourself in the right mind space to do this?
Well, I think the first and foremost that we all need to give ourselves permission to be wrong. And simply by doing that, you either write down or simply state to yourself, I give myself permission to be wrong, because then that lets yourself off the hook, understanding that again, that you're putting the intention out to the universe, to spirit, that, you're playing with these energies. You're trying to expand your awareness, and saying, hey, we're going to go into this and have fun. Mm-hmm. And so I'm giving my permission, myself, and we understand that we're human. Sometimes we misinterpret. Spirit is never wrong. The universe is never wrong, but our interpretation, how we translate the information from, coming down from above and all around to out our mouths, a lot can be lost in interpretation. And the other thing, and we've talked about this many times too, Walt, is making sure that our own vibration is in a good space. You saw me earlier, just before we started chatting, before we went live, I was playing a little bit of guitar, right?
Right.
And so getting my vibration up, connecting with music just a little bit. And so, so whatever you're doing, just make sure you're aware of your energy, because if you're feeling quite honestly pissy, or if you're having a nasty day, honor that, but at the same time, maybe that day isn't the best day. If you're angry, if you can't shift your mood, then maybe it would be better to do it a different day, because all your outcome, guess what, is going to be affected by your energy, right?
Right.
And it's like, it's all going to be tainted by whatever energy, what you put out comes back. And so if you don't want to be putting out bad vibrations or things, and you're not going to feel good either. It's going to feel you're like fighting against your energy and everything else. And say you had a argument with your spouse or whatever. And if you're unable to put that aside and do whatever you're doing, it's going to be challenging because, you're fighting against that energy or your own energy. So, make sure
what you're really talking about here, I think, is what is the high energy and what is the low energy? Because you want to be in high energy in order to get the messages right. That's basically what we're saying here, right?
Yes.
We want to avoid getting into low energy because that's where we get deceived about everything.
Right.
We don't want to be deceived. We want it as clear as we can get. Clarity is a high vibration, so we need to be in high vibration. So that's why we're going to have fun with it. That's why we're letting go of any idea, we have to be perfect about this. We got to let that go too.
That's right.
It's all about getting that high vibration every way we know how to get there.
Remember when we talk about that theoretical scale that we all have in our head, like where am I on the, comparative scale, which doesn't exist, by the way, but when we're starting comparing ourselves or when we talk about different things like that, the more, when we get in that low vibrational scale, all those, that is not good. We want to be in the high vibration. So exactly like you said, Walt, being happy, laughing, singing, dancing, having fun, games, connecting to the inner child brings your vibration up. And, it doesn't allow the space, even if you start off kind of maybe you're a grumpy ass or whatever. Right? And if you can get in a space of starting to have fun or surrounded by fun people or whatever, slowly you lose that, right? And
well, it's a good thing that this is your daily dose of happy. I mean,
right? It gives me right in the arm.
Right, it's there. You just by tuning in, you got yourself a higher vibration. How about that?
That's right. So, but yeah, absolutely. I mean, the state, the happy, the high vibration piece. So when you're doing these exercises.
So anyway, I was looking at these spirit cards, these oracle cards.
Yeah.
And, by the way, they're gorgeous. I'll show you the back of it. That's mild. That's mild compared to what the actual cards look like. I'll show you the first card after we pull it out to play our game with.
Nice.
And I've got, this is cool. Okay. So I've got the first card here and I won't say anything more about it other than it's an oracle card. And I'm going to go to you, Dean, and see what you get about it. And anyone, I see Jeffrey has tuned in. Hello, Jeffrey. Nasha, you were chiming in earlier. You're welcome to play too. Anyone who is on the live stream right now, more than willing to play along or more than welcome to play along, just type in anything that you're getting, anything at all. It doesn't matter. And even if you're listening to the recorded podcast, which virtually everybody is, you still get to play along. Because none of this is time dependent, right? I mean, Dean, isn't that the rule that it doesn't really matter when you're listening to it now or later or whatever? The game still works. The second activity still works.
Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely. No, you can be watching this, 5 years from now, and still, I mean. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter when. So basically, just even if you're listening to the podcast recording right now, you can't even see us, still can do it. Just, get on a piece of paper or something, write down what your first impressions are, and then compare it to, what we end up with when we do the big reveal of what's this card all about. So, okay. What do you got there, Dean? You got anything coming through?
Yeah. Give me I'm writing down a couple things and,
And anybody in the live stream, if you want to type in what you're getting, type it right in there. We'll include it in the conversation. This is a pretty cool one, I have to say.
So I got 5 things. So the first one was like a cool breeze. So you think of like standing, I would say almost like on I wouldn't say a January day, but a cool day, right? Cool breeze. Okay. The other one was snow. I did see snow. And then the other thing was blue Oldsmobile. I saw, you think of an old Olds. And then, a baseball. I did see a baseball and then something round. So.
That's interesting.
That's what I got.
All right. Something round too. I'm making notes here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Jeffrey says, I got a lot of mind chatter, not centered, but I'm going to say something green and flowery. Okay. So write down green and flowery, and we will label that Jeffrey. There we go. And I don't see anybody else chiming in on live stream, so we'll just go with what we got right here. Are you ready for the reveal?
I am.
Here we go.
Ooh, what is that?
This is Healer of the Ages.
And
there's your circle around the head. It's the aura.
The aura around the head. Check that out.
Yeah.
Okay.
The figure almost looks like Jesus.
It does. That's why I was like, ooh, is that Jesus? But
yeah.
Okay. Kind of. I suppose it could be interpreted like that.
It could be.
You know, and it's interesting. Can you see through that? Is that part of the cards like translucent?
No. We're also picking up some of my background here with the green screen.
Oh, okay. I was like, how cool is that card?
Let's see if I can make it go away.
I was like, well, that's all right. But I was like, how cool is that card? It's where it's translucent.
That's the way it actually is. If we get the light off of it. There we go. Now you can see it.
Oh, sure. I see. Okay. Yeah, interesting. Okay.
Isn't that something?
Cool.
It's beautiful. And you mentioned snow. It's not really snow, but there's a lot of white going on there.
Right. Huh. Interesting. Okay.
A lot of white. I don't really see the blue Oldsmobile, but that's all right. And
well, it was interesting. Jeffrey got that talking about green, right?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of green going on there.
Well, did you know that Archangel Raphael, right? One of the archangels associated with healers is associated with the color green.
Really?
So when I do readings and when I see the color green, I always think heal or healing. And it's interesting that title bar on there, Healer of the Ages, is in green.
Also interesting, Nasha wrote in water, and what's the one thing that is most associated with the Christian church? It's baptism. Yeah. Which is done in water. And here you have the Healer of the Ages on there. So there's a metaphorical thing going on there.
Yeah. Well, and water is symbolic of energies and also emotions. So, yeah, very cool.
And a beautiful card too. Beautiful illustration.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
Gorgeous. Should I bring up what the card is all about?
Sure. Yeah, I bet you there's a deeper meaning in there that'll be like have us going, wow.
All right. Well, let's find out. This is card number 51. Now, Linda, when she did this, actually I did pretty well. I went to 52. She used to go right to the page instantly. Just open the book, and there it was right on the page. That was pretty good, though. I came within one of it. I'll take that.
P.S. Your background is gone too. Just letting you know.
Well, yeah, I figured I'd leave the background.
Okay. Sorry,
No, it's a valid point. Anyway, Healer of the Ages is about health and vitality. In the upright position, which is the way that I pulled it in, this part. Well, actually, I pulled it out in the reverse position, but I showed it upright because I wanted everybody to be able to see what the illustration is, but I'm going to read the reverse position because I pulled it out reversed. When reversed, the Healer of the Ages indicates that you've been feeling extremely out of sorts or even upside down in your own life. What Jeffrey said, I've got a lot of mind chatter, not centered, but I'm going to say. Yeah. You may be in the midst of some physical problem or just feeling as though you're losing energy, but this card is telling you that there are deeper levels of healing that need to be addressed. Take some time to regroup and put your own healing first. Whether you're facing mental, emotional, physical, or even addictive patterns, call upon the Healer of the Ages to bring his energy to the issues you're working on. Quiet your mind. How about that? That's right for Jeffrey. And feel his vibration bring you warmth and healing light, clearing away any dark or hurting space. Repeat this meditation and be patient, yet also know that divine love can heal you in the blink of a belief. And there's an affirmation that goes along with this card that says, the powerful healing of eternal love is with me now and always. Divine consciousness fills every cell. I am whole, healthy, vital, and at peace. That's one heck of an affirmation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Not to mention it's hard to memorize, but that's all right. You do it often enough, you'll remember it. But
right. I love it. Yeah, that was very cool.
That is
very cool. I love those.
Now, do you have anything at your end for us to play with, or should I just pull more cards?
I can do one. We got the horses again.
Got the horses. All right. Okay. Oh, Jeffrey has a question.
The horses.
Comment coming up here. I'm going to bring this in here. He says, I wonder if we could do better.
Yeah.
If we took a quick moment to center ourselves. The full supermoon in Scorpio has been saying similar things about deep healings. Well, that's basically what you were saying.
Well, absolutely. And, I would always say, talk about Jeffrey too, is that when you're doing this, I don't know if anybody saw me, but so when I started, I closed my eyes to focus in, to center myself and focus in on the card. So, because that's what I was reading, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's what I was doing. So if you need to do that, absolutely take a breath. Take, whether you need to envision light coming in, whether you need to focus in on whatever it is, focusing in on the card.
Right.
Whatever that is, focus in on it, center yourself and just ask, what, show me, mm-hmm. or can you feel, what is it? And it might be, and again, remember, it might come in a lot of different senses. So you might all of a sudden feel cold or hot or, or you might feel a color. You might feel, a sensation, so sky's the limit. Again.
And Nasha also commented on the card. She said, this card speaks to me so deeply. Thank you. So thank you, Nasha. Thanks for sharing that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So what you got?
All right. There? So I got a card. So if you guys want to tune into it, you certainly can. And, I won't show it to you to see if, there's any aspects of that card that you might pick up.
All right. So I'm writing a couple things down. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to tell you what came to me, and anyone listening on the live stream who wants to play along, if you were getting anything at all, doesn't matter how crazy it was, type it into the live stream, and you can compare it to what we're coming up with here and see if you can nail some stuff here. Oh, Jeffrey already has. He says he's got a red background, a brown horse with a black mane, front view, one leg up in mid gallop. Ooh, wow. There's some detail there. Serious detail. I didn't actually focus on anything horse related, although I know that these are horse cards. What I got were 4 words: weather, gold, fragment, and smack. I don't know what that's all about. Oh, and Nasha has reddish brown and white, so she's got some colors coming through. Anyone else? Anybody else in the live stream want to contribute to everything? We got some lurkers there, but they're being really quiet. So,
what was Nasha's? Reddish brown. Oh,
reddish brown and white. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So, big reveal. What do you got?
So now I'll show you. Drum roll, please. Here's the actual card.
I just scared the cat. With the drum roll.
So here's the. Oh, Nikki said red sword as soon as I brought it up. So
okay, so we have like a
and
horse, almost
a white horse, some elements of green, yellow.
Yeah.
And Nasha said, in fact, I saw a brown horse, then a white horse. And I'm gonna get onto that here in a minute. But let me read to you what this card is called, the Sage Wisdom card. And you're completing a cycle or experiencing an ending at this time in your life. Your accumulated wisdom and understanding and being called upon to remember and use all lessons you have learned thus far. Endings can be painful, and grief is a strong presence. Express your emotions. Do not suppress your pain, but allow it to flow freely from your being. With this expression, you honor the full experience and will be ready to let it go when the time is right. Call upon all that comforts you. Trust that this ending will create an opening for new, lush beginnings in the future. Honor your ability to be authentic in your emotions. Blessings will pour forth when you have passed through this time. So kind of like transitions, all that great stuff. Now, interesting because I didn't draw from the top. And here is actually the card that was directly under.
Oh my.
Yeah. So, which is very interesting because I think Jeffrey, talking about and don't be so hard on yourself. You said, nope, I was way off. I don't think you were, because this picture looks like it was in mid gallop so don't, be so quick to judge yourself.
I'm reminded of what Linda Armstrong used to say when she would pull a card and another card would slip out at the same time. She'd say, I think we need both of those cards. She'd take them both.
Well, and remember what I said last time we did this. Sometimes the residual energy of another one, right? So it's like, oh, I'm not going to pull that one. I'm going to pull this one.
Right.
And somebody like Jeff is already, tuning in to the energy of. So, you guys are more on it than what you realize. Let me read this card, and it's called the caution card. Perhaps not all the facts are being revealed to you at this time. You see most of the picture, but should proceed with caution, staying close to as the pieces are being revealed. Only when you have the full picture can you determine what will be the right direction for you at this juncture. So basically saying, make sure all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed and proceed with caution, basically. But I just thought it was interesting when I saw this.
Also, if Jeffrey, you think you were off, I said weather, gold, fragment, and smack. The only thing I can come close to there is fragment, because there's like this little fragment of color all over in the corner.
I see gold. I see gold.
Well, that one there is. Yes, you're right.
And I think there's gold here. What was interesting is smack or
but I don't know where weather comes into this.
It was interesting because when I kind of look at this, it was almost, the first word that I thought is like breath or like wind or think of life or different things. So it can be interpreted differently. And just remember, because we use our English language to try to explain, again, remember, we're trying to use words that we all understand to describe something that, so if we get the description off, remember, we're playing, F it,
that's right.
We give ourselves permission to be wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
So play with this. And remember, that's how, like Jeffrey said, talking about, nope, I was way off. Well, saying, even if we were, it's okay. Mm-hmm. It's okay because we're playing, we're learning, but you guys weren't off. You guys were on, and kind of spooky scary because, it's like you get like right in there. Yeah. You guys are doing awesome. So.
Interestingly enough, too, when you frame it the way you framed it just now, I think, well, first of all, it takes pressure off. That's the most important thing.
Right.
But the second thing that I think it does is it gives us a sense of, well, let me say it for myself, because I know other people visualize and get images. I don't get images. So first, when I'm doing this, I'm just getting words. I don't actually have an image that comes to my mind. It's like the word flashes my mind, weather or whatever it is. And I don't know what it means. I have no context whatsoever. None, zero. There's no context. So the ones that have come out really pretty accurate compared to the ones that aren't accurate, there's no difference. I can't tell any difference at all between them. So I figure anything I'm getting right is pretty good at this point. It's not like, why am I not getting all of them right? It's more like, hey, I'm getting some right. Oh my goodness.
Right. Well, and that's the thing is, I got to read Jeffrey. It's fun to play like this when there's no wrong answers. We're just trying we're all just trying sometimes new and exercising our abilities and relationships with the universe.
Exactly.
Yeah. And, it's, I like to use the example of saying, it's like throwing a book at you that's all in Braille.
Yeah.
And saying that, hey, okay, read, Walt, read me chapter 2. And it's like, Dean, you're crazy. it feels like a bunch of bumps, but over time you would learn. If you took a course in Braille, you would learn over time, right? And, and that's the thing with, and that's why we talk about it as a game, because any time that you play a game, think of hopscotch or think of kickball when you were a kid. To get better and better and better at it, you had to do it over and over and over at it. Now, I want to also add in another analogy. That same game that you played, whatever it was, there were some kids that were very natural at that game. Yep. There were some kids that they weren't so great.
Not really, no.
But they really liked it.
Yes.
And if they wanted to get to that level, they had to really practice, right?
And there were a lot of kids who weren't very good and didn't want to get to the next level. They were bored with the game.
It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter where you are, but wherever you want to take it depends how much effort you have to put into it.
Right.
But it still requires effort. So that's what I'm saying.
I'm glad that you're describing it like it's a skill, because it really is a skill, right?
It is a skill.
And it's like any other skill. Cindy Chavez likes to talk about this in terms of writing.
Yeah.
Or in terms of doing, painting or drawing. You may be, which I am, by the way, the world's worst artist. But if I were to take a pad of paper with 365 pages in it and every single day do one drawing on a page and then click 365 over the course of a year, by the end of the year, I'd be a pretty darn good drawer.
Right. Yeah.
Even though my first ones look like stick figures, but, you start somewhere, right?
Right. No, absolutely. So that's, intuition is just like a muscle. And if you're not going to the gym, your muscles aren't going to grow.
That's right.
And so,
well, not necessarily the gym, but if you don't work them, I guess that's.
Well, if you don't work, you know what I'm saying. If you don't work out, if you don't exercise those muscles, they're not going to grow. And that's why I always say is, exercise your intuition, exercise your ability, your skill. And if you want to grow it, do it. You got to do the work. And a lot of people don't understand that. But that's the simple truth.
We're learning. We're all learning.
That's right. Student in the universe.
So I'm going to take this deck. I'm going to give it a little shuffle here.
Okay.
Let's see if we can pull up another card and see how we can deal with card number 2 from the Energy Oracle cards. So I'm going to cut it once. Oh, there's a card. Now there's an example of it. There's a card that wanted to be pulled.
It just jumped out.
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay.
Well, actually, this is kind of related to what we were just talking about in a sense, too. So this will be interesting to see what comes up.
Okay.
Lots of opportunity with this card, I have to say. Lots of opportunity. So if you're listening to the live stream, indeed, if you're listening at home to the podcast, you want to play along, like we said before, there's no limits on this. There's no time restrictions. You can play right now with us. Just pick up a piece of paper or something and just write down whatever comes to your mind. Dean is making his notes. Jeffrey's got his already on there. He's already put it into the chat. Nasha's been playing along previously, but I think she's hedging her bet right now.
All right, perfect. I'm ready.
All right.
Everybody else has.
We'll give them 10 more seconds to see if anybody else wants to jump in. This is a beautiful card, by the way. I was talking about how beautiful the illustrations are. This one's gorgeous coloring.
Nice.
Gorgeous coloring. Okay. Here we go. Nasha put something in too. So Nasha wrote water, healing, white. Oh, and Nikki's coming in too. White and source. Jeffrey wrote writing, books, and library. Definite theme going on there.
Yeah.
And Nikki came in with blonde hair, wings, and gold.
Ooh. There you go.
This is very cool. What do you got?
Yeah. I got cradle, chocolate, and diamond in the rough.
Interesting.
I actually saw an eye with a diamond in the center, but I heard diamond in the rough. That's really
interesting, especially that last one. That's really interesting. Anybody else jumping in on the live stream? No, it looks like live stream's gotten a little quiet. All right, so we got 3 people there. You ready for it? Big reveal. Look at this. This thing's gorgeous.
Ooh.
Angel of Balance. And I thought, how interesting.
Look at that.
We were talking about
look at that. Wings.
Maintaining the vibration and balance. Yeah. Having balance is like at the core of maintaining that vibration.
Ooh. Love it.
And what was the phrase you used? Some diamond in the rough?
Diamond in the rough.
Oh, we got pyramids in the desert.
Yeah.
Cool. And when you said diamonds, that's what I was seeing. I was seeing those pyramids. Nikki got the wings and the gold. There's a lot of gold in this.
The gold. Yep.
Let's see. What else we got here?
White source.
Yeah.
I see white on there.
There's a lot of white in there. And it does balance is always about healing. Yeah. We'll have to address this other comment here in a moment, but really cool. A lot of people are hitting some really good stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
And gorgeous artwork.
Yeah, too. I love it. I love it. Well, good.
This is good.
That is fun. That's fun.
This is stretching our abilities. Really.
It is.
Yeah.
Exercise.
I'm not sure. I think I'll just leave that one alone.
Okay.
Yeah. So, okay. You got something at your end?
So, yeah, I do. I do have a card if you guys want to tune in. Okay. And this is a cool one as well. I don't know if I've ever seen this one.
That's what's fun about these decks.
That's right.
All right. I got a couple words. Anybody else want to kick in?
Anybody else?
The live stream. I'm going to take another. We need to play the Jeopardy theme.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
All right. I got 3 words. Jeffrey's got 4.
4.
And
all right.
Yep. All right. I got mine.
All right. Perfect.
Anybody else? Nikki, Nasha, anybody else on live stream?
Okay. Oh, Brenda. Yeah, we don't want you doing it while you're driving, so.
Well, don't write while you're driving. Yeah.
Right.
Pay attention to the traffic. The traffic is more important when you're driving, but yes. But she said that in her first card, it was interesting. She had a doctor's appointment at 3 p.m. today.
Huh.
And that was all about healing.
Oh, okay, Nick. Okay,
Nikki.
Gold, white movement.
And
okay, got it. I love it.
Jeffrey had gray, silver, mare, starlight.
Starlight, love it.
Okay. And my words were wild, strength, wet, and muscles.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Not sure what that's all about. So
well, are you ready for the big reveal?
Big reveal. Here we come. Ooh.
Now I don't know if that's a mare or not, but like the sex of horse, but yeah, so check that out, right? You see the white Nikki talked about.
Ripped, by the way. There's no ounce of fat on that horse.
Right?
So muscles look great.
Well, and the background kind of looks like either nighttime or storm or whatever. Yeah. So, a lot of different elements to that. Okay.
Starlight, that's a nighttime thing. That was Jeffrey's.
Right. Yep. So
there's some silver in there, silver and gray in there.
Yep.
Nikki had gold, white. What? Put the card back up so I can compare.
Oh,
gold,
sorry.
white, and
movement.
Nikki had all of it. That horse is clearly moving.
Yep.
Like doing.
Now I don't know what it has in its mouth. Looks some form of like plant or flower or something.
Well, is there a description that goes with this card?
Well, yeah, there is. And let me read it to you. I'm going to put on my glasses for this one here.
You want to be able to see this? Okay.
We're going to go. Yes. So without exceptions, you're readying for partnership I can't even speak. You're readying for partnership in a more full way. Well, they have this written kind of differently. You have been supported in your past and now are ready to partner who can be depended on. Support someone in partnership to allow the other to rest and lean on you for a while. It's not a burden, nor do you feel martyred energy pouring forth. This is a pure and rightful gift. It is a pleasure for you to be able to offer support at this time. As you prepare to step into this new place in a partnership, do so without expectation. Do not seek approval or recognition. You do not need to receive appreciation. Only in this way will you create a blessed gift to yourself as well as your partner. Charity without the need for acknowledgement is the key here. Your reward will be immense. So in a sense of what I'm understanding is finally moving into a place where you can be the supporter, right, of somebody else in need, instead of going, the aspect of, look, I'm taking a selfie of, look, I'm helping somebody, right?
Yeah, right.
So, but doing it from your heart, from your heart. So
yeah, we're trying to avoid the narcissistic version. That's for sure.
Right. Nikki says, Rose, ? Perhaps. I don't see enough of the detail. But
well, the saddle area, that was a rosish color, wasn't it? Or at least
it was. It was a blanket. Yeah. Yep. So if you look at it.
Yeah. Jeffrey also made an interesting comment. I want to ask you about this. Vibrationally, does this make sense to you? It kind of makes sense to me. He says the pose in that one is what I saw in the first round, the horse being a different color.
Could be. Where we talked, I think, did I have the conversation with you on a previous episode about piggybacking, about sometimes energies and spirits can piggyback on other things? So you may be already picking up where Jeffrey, because I know this is something that sometimes where it's already predispositioned of what card's going to be pulled. And so where you're seeing this one, but back, on the first one.
Because it's like we said at the beginning of the show that there's no time in this. That's why everybody at home listening to the podcast and listen to. So time is irrelevant. So it doesn't really matter what the past, present, future is. What matters is vibrationally what's there. So I would say, that counts. That counts a lot.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. So, and trusting that, right? So keeping track of that kind of stuff. So when you guys are experiencing that in real life, so outside of this program, if you're having
it's real life, oh no.
Well, it is, you know what I meant. But if you're not doing this exercise and you're doing, just day-to-day stuff and you're having these experiences, write them down because then you can go back and go, hey, remember that time because then our memory we get so many of them, it tends to forget, right? And so it's like, oh my goodness, remember when Dean and Walt did that thing and the first card and the third or fourth, it was crazy. And then I had experiences at home and blah, blah, blah. So it's good for our understanding. So we understand how it's working with us, how it's speaking to us. And this is how we build our library, with the universe. This is how we start to decipher that book of Braille that I talked about. That, it's more about almost a course in becoming a interpreter versus a, quote unquote psychic or a medium. It's more about learning a different language in a sense. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I think we have time for maybe one or two more cards. Shall I pull it out here?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So I'm going to just kind of do one mid deck here. This is coming in reverse, so I forgot to look up the other card, but I'll look up this card in reverse. This is interesting. All right. So Jeffrey said, even Walt saying piggyback felt like a reference to a dream I had last night. Okay. That's funny. It's funny how all these things just connect together.
Right.
They really do. Yeah.
It's like it was meant to be or something.
Well, from my perspective, it's more like they connect together in ways that just are almost, cockeyed, but they connect.
Right. I know.
I think it's more of me just coming to terms with it more than anything else.
Right.
It's just,
I think that's a great.
All these associations just come in from left field, and all of a sudden, oh my God, that connects to something at home plate. What's going on here?
Right. Oh, Jeffrey's already on it. He's already saying twins, mice, or small critters, trees, forest. I think that he's already on it. He's already reading your card.
I guess.
Yeah.
Quick. Anybody else want to jump in? How you doing there, Dean? You got more?
I haven't even started yet.
Haven't even started. Well, you better get
Lord.
The vibes your way. I mean, oh my goodness.
I know. What the heck? Okay.
The card is vibrating.
Okay. I got wood, grass, and smoke.
Wood, grass, and smoke. Okay.
Wood, grass. I smell like a grass fire, but so.
And Nikki's asking, is this an energy or an animal packet? It's the deck is called Energy Oracle Cards. There's the cover of the description book to give you an idea of it, but it's a variety of different kinds of figures. It's not one kind of figure. So in answer to your question. Whereas the pack that Dean is working with is all horses all the time.
Oh, yeah. This one particular deck, anyways, the one that I have
deck. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jeffrey says he's burning some sage there.
Nice.
Okay. Good. All right. Anybody else jumping in? Or do we? No, I guess I go right to the reveal. Okay, here we go.
Okay, here we are. Ooh, look at that.
Angel of Love.
Ooh.
Whoops. Sorry about that. You know, it's funny. It's harder to hold when you have a smaller frame on the screen.
Right. It's like, where are we?
Yep.
Nice.
Right. So we got anything matching up here? Not a lot.
Not much, but that's all right.
That's right. That's part of the game.
F it, right? Mm-hmm. I give myself permission to be wrong. That's a beautiful card, though.
It is a beautiful card. Let me get
Nikki was said I was going to say purple, green, and goddess.
Well, definitely goddess.
Yeah.
Especially with the wings there.
Well, and there is green on the title bar at the bottom.
There is. Yep.
So. Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me get this card up.
Very good.
And this is also a card that I pulled up reversed, so I will read the reversed version of the card. So this is subtitled. It's titled Angel of Love, subtitled Tender Connections.
Tender.
And in the reverse position, the Angel of Love could indicate a possible disconnect in matters of the heart. That's similar to the card you brought up earlier. Oh. While this sometimes signifies a divorce or separation, it could also imply an emotional rift where two people stay connected on a superficial basis, yet at a deeper level seem to be going their own ways. In this position, the angel can also refer to an old separation if the longing remains alive in one partner's heart. If you find yourself unable to let go, this loving angel is telling you it's time to release any toxic or unrequited attachment you may be holding on to. The universe is waiting for you to free your heart and open your life to the fully present and honoring love that you so rightly deserve. So look in the mirror and see the angel of love there with you. Know that you are worthy of this tender emotion from yourself and others. And then the affirmation that goes along with it says, I love and value myself without limitation or condition. Tender, loving treatment comes to me in wonderful and unexpected ways.
Nice.
I get the feeling that was definitely for some people listening in, regardless of whether.
Well, sure, whatever. Yeah, whatever. You always trust, right? And there's, so yeah.
There was something going on with that card. Yeah, that was an important one. All right, I think we have time for maybe one or two more. You got something at your end there?
Yeah. Let me shuffle the deck here.
All right.
Real quick. Let me get the lucky card. All right, here we go.
Supposed to keep it light. Remember, folks, keep it light.
Method. Remember. All right, I've got a card. Go ahead.
All right.
Tune in.
Green. Let's see. We definitely need a Jeopardy theme or something equivalent.
Right? Dun, 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 dun.
All right. Well, I got my words here. Jeffrey's got his. Anybody else want to chime in? Oh, he's adding a word. Okay. About 10 more seconds for people to enter stuff in. So go ahead and enter it in. All right. So my words were green, race, and worth.
Mm.
And Jeffrey has black horse and green. He's got green also. And lightning. Nikki's coming in with masculine, black, and white.
Nice.
Anybody else want to jump in here before we do the big reveal? All right. Well, let's go with it. What do you got there, Ooh. Got 4 of them at a rail.
Yeah. And then you got the green in the background there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So the masculine, yep. So there's definitely the black, the color black, obviously. Whoops. And there's white in there as well. Black horse green. Jeffrey had some.
I like that we had the 4 horses there, because horses are what's the word? There's a word that means this. They're friendly. They're communal. They live in community. They prefer to be around horses.
They do. Yes.
And that's what that captures there.
They need.
And in that community, in that sense of they're social. That's the word.
Yeah, there you go.
Social. Yeah. And in that sociality, they are. That's where they find their greatest value. So that, for me, is where worth comes in. I mean,
right.
We certainly among humans, we measure our worth very much in terms of our communal, our community relationships. Right. And I'm sure the same is true with horses because they're so socially oriented. So I'm going to take that one for me. I'm not sure where race comes in there, but green and worth, I'll go with those.
Right. Well, and the other,
and there was a black horse in there.
Yeah. Well, and the message on it was the camaraderie, right? Mm. Around you at this time is immense support, and you are receiving comfort by being with others. Their support is important, and it's understood that you will be somewhat dependent on them during this time. Listen to their counsel and contribute your own viewpoint frequently. The task at hand is your journey requires you to work with others and discover the benefits of mutual contribution and independence before you go off on your own. True friendship can boost your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings. Others may see and contribute what you are missing, and conversely, you will bring to the forefront what they may be missing. For now, enjoy the camaraderie.
Masculine. Nikki hit masculine, right? Hitting the nail on the head there with masculine, because that's what was going on there.
Yeah.
It was about masculine.
Yeah.
Men stuff going on there. So, yeah, nice job, Nikki. You really hit that one.
Yeah.
All right. Got time for one more. Actually, before we do one more, I want to make sure I get my promos in, because I always put those in at the end and I kind of rush them, and I really don't want to do that. Basically what they amount to is this. If you're not yet subscribed to the podcast, subscribe to the podcast. If you are subscribed to the podcast, thank you. And thank you for continuing to listen. And more importantly, share with other people. I haven't been giving that message out a lot lately, but I know that talking about community and being social and so forth, the most valuable thing we can do for somebody else is to give them something we value ourselves. And that's what I'm asking you to do today, especially if you haven't done it for a while. So, think of, not necessarily, you can share it broadly on social media if you like, that's great. But I'm thinking more along the lines of, if you know somebody who could really use a lift right now, give them the Daily Dose of Happy by sharing a link to LOA Today. And finally, make sure the easy way to do this, get the LOA Today app, and there's a link that I'll put into the description like I normally do with most of these podcast episodes, not all of them. But share the link, and that way they can download the app. The link actually takes you a page now where you can download the app, and it will also direct you to the app for your particular device, which makes it really handy. And then just below that, there are, I think, 8 different podcast platforms that you can select from. There are right now they're like the top 8 that are, the most popular in the world. It's just, Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts and Pandora and Castbox and, a few others like that. So that people who are podcast listeners can plug it into their favorite podcast software. But whatever you do, please subscribe and share and continue to listen, binge listen. That's how you get your daily dose of happy. Even if you haven't listened for a while, you can listen to 3 episodes in a row. And boy, you're feeling great after that.
There you go.
So, okay, one last card. This is going to be the final card of the show. And again, This is coming from the Energy Oracle cards. These are by Sandra Ann Taylor. And I'm going to just do a cut here and draw from the top of that.
Jeffrey already put in his.
He's got his.
Yeah, he already started pre-reading.
Oh, this is interesting. All right, this is going to be interesting to see what people come up with. Blue skin, looking up, having faith and trust. Jeffrey.
Yeah.
All right. This is going to be interesting to see what people come up with on this one.
Yeah. I'm done as well on this one. Oh, I'm going with Vortex, Deep, Pocket, and Immensely Diverse.
Woo! Oh, I like it. Yeah. Anybody else in the live stream jumping in? Or do we do the reveal? Give people another 10 seconds or so while we mentally play the Jeopardy thing.
I was trying to... I was trying to find a little WAV file. My phone. I was like, "Oh, where's that WAV file at?"
Oh, that's funny. We probably get sued by Jeopardy. We don't want that.
No, that's probably all of a sudden you get a copyright notice, right? When you go to.
I actually did get a copyright notice. Interestingly enough, some CBS Entertainment complained about the music that we use. They said, we own that music now, and you're using it without our permission. And so they filed with Facebook about it, and Facebook knocked one of our episodes offline, saying we had to answer the charge. Well, I actually had bought a license, an extended license to use that music. So I wrote back, hey, I've got an extended license. I bought it. I can tell you where I bought it. 123rf.com is where I got it. And if they're referencing anything else, the backgrounds were from Zoom for that particular episode. The backgrounds that it was me and Louie for that one, and the green screen backgrounds were from Zoom, and and the conversation was all us. So sorry, there's no copyright violation going on here, and they dropped the charge. But I mean, this is a real thing.
I've had that the same on mine too. Mm-hmm. So got to be careful. Got to be careful with that stuff now.
Keep it honest and open. It's always a good thing. Oh, okay. Dickie came in with Starlight Strength. Really good, And Jeffrey was saying the same thing about copyright.
Yeah.
Okay, are you guys ready?
Let's do it.
I don't remember what you said them, and then we got into this other thing.
Said Deep, Pocket, and Immensely Diverse.
Oh, that's right. Okay, all right. Here we go. This was a cool card. This is Yin and Yang.
Ooh, that is very cool.
Yeah.
It almost looks like it's moving. Well, I mean, other than your hand moving, but I mean, the object, it looks like the way that it's painted, it looks like it's moving.
I thought for sure some people were going to identify colors too, and this one's just like loaded with blues and golds and so forth. Nobody said anything about colors. I was surprised.
Yeah.
Very
cool
stuff.
Yeah. Very cool. It almost looks like a big marble off the coast of somewhere.
Well,
but it's cool.
The blue area looks like it has stars in it, actually, which is what Nikki's identifying it. And there's light all around this thing, so there's Nikki's light.
Yeah.
And actually, Jeffrey identified the blue. He didn't say gold, but he got the blue, so he's got that nailed.
The blue. Yep.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you to our live streamers, especially thank you to our podcast listeners. Send your emails. Let us know what you found out when you were playing the game. We'll see you all next time here on LOA Today. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.